Now that Season 4 of The Dragon Prince has been out for a bit, it's time to begin theorizing the events of Season 5. I find theorizing future events of a show to be one of the most fun parts about watching it, and naturally, since Season 4 is meant to be a setup for the rest of the saga, it leaves lots of wiggle room for ideas. Today, I'd like to share one of these theories I've had with you. Will Callum run away in Season 5? In this video, I'll discuss why I believe this will happen, and why I think it will be a good thing if it does. Now, at first thought, the thought of Callum running away may either sadden or puzzle you. The answer to my theory may seem like a very obvious no at first. Of course not. Why would he leave? Especially since Rayla returned. So let me explain. To do so, I'd like to quickly examine the most interesting scene of Season 4.
Rayla.
Yeah?
I need you to kill me.
What?
In this scene, Callum finally confides the fears he's been having after Erebus possessed him to Rayla. Most people watching this scene would just make it out as Callum being foolish and out of character, but it actually isn't out of character for him at all. In fact, we've seen him verbally state his willingness to die before, in episode 1 of the 3rd season.
I'm sorry, Rayla, but if me dying is the only way for you and Zim to get across safely, then it's time for me to face the end.
Calm down.
However, this scene is different. After Callum asks Rayla to kill him, she calls him dumb and basically shuts his request down, saying that she won't do it.
I couldn't think of a better response to your stupid request. I'm not going to kill you.
It is here in this next scene where the first major point supporting my theory happens.
I'm afraid, Rayla. What if I'm on a path of darkness?
Then take a different path, dummy.
So far, in this series, besides a few exceptions, no statement like this has just been hung out in the air to dry, so to speak. Every scene has a deeper meaning that comes back eventually. This scene certainly isn't an exception. It's too sudden and too serious for it to just be filler. Callum's willingness to die to protect the people he cares about is a character trait of his, and perhaps his fatal flaw, if we take inspiration from Percy Jackson. That, along with Rayla shutting down his request to die, will come back. How will it come back? In the form of Callum running away. So the biggest question you may have now is why? Why would he run away? Well, we know Rayla said she's not going to kill him, but Callum's worry about hurting the people he cares about won't just disappear. If I know Callum, it will build up in his mind until it causes him to take action. The only way to protect the people he cares about from himself, in his mind, is to put a distance between himself and his friends. This will be how Callum takes his different path that Rayla mentioned. It would be a natural response, I think. Callum tells Ezrin that he can't get the scene of Erebus possessing him out of his head in Season 4.
I can't get it out of my head. Whenever I close my eyes, I'm back in that moment. It was awful.
This type of trauma could cause PTSD-induced visions, perhaps visions and nightmares where Callum is being forced to hurt his friends, or worse. Because of all of this, Callum may end up deciding that his contact with his friends is worth sacrificing as long as they're safe. However, I don't think he'll just leave randomly in the middle of the night. He'll need something to pull that trigger in his mind to finally take action, to finally force him to leave. What could that trigger possibly be? At the end of Season 4, Rayla finally got her parents back along with Runan in the form of dark coins, where their souls were Viren's treasure.
Your soul is my treasure. Your soul is my treasure.
The creators of the show stated in an interview that Rayla will become obsessed with freeing them. This isn't confirmed, but I think it may be safe to say that in order to undo dark magic, you'll need dark magic. And as far as we've seen on screen, there is only one person who may be willing to do that for her: Callum. This brings up another interesting theory which I might discuss in another video, that being a conflict between Callum and Rayla about bringing back the man who murdered King Harrow, Runan. But moving back to the coins, Callum may decide to put his life in danger for Rayla. Perhaps this will happen very early on in Season 5. Why do I say that? Because we know that in episode 1 of the 4th season, Callum had a birthday, but what may not be known to many of you is that Rayla's birthday follows shortly after, just a couple weeks. Perhaps Callum will decide to use dark magic to free them for her on her birthday. However, we've seen what dark magic can do to Callum in Season 2, and back then he renounced it. Using it again may allow Erebus to remotely control him once again. If this happens, and he ends up having to be subdued, this will be Callum's final straw. He'll claim that this is confirmation that the path he's taking is a path to darkness, so he'll choose a different path, running away to protect his friends, and to become stronger on his own by traveling across Zadia, meeting other archmages, and gathering more magical attributes, possibly, so that one day he may be able to face Erebus and beat him if need be. That's what I believe Callum would want to do. However, one thing that may cut his journey short is a certain moon shadow elf. Now that I've stated why I believe Callum will leave in Season 5, it's time to explain why this would be a good choice by the writers. In Season 4, Rayla comes back after 2 years of searching for Viren. However, besides Stella the Cuddle Monkey, she has nothing to show for it, and her journey is never brought up during the events of Season 4. We don't know what has happened to her in those 2 years while she was gone. All we know is that she left and came back empty-handed. But what we do know is how her journey affected Callum emotionally. I've made an entire video discussing why Raylan works in Season 4, if you're interested. We saw that her departure emotionally destroyed him, especially since she lied to him about it. Callum and Rayla have been slowly building that trust back up over Season 4, but I don't think they will truly be able to move past it until Rayla actually experiences the pain Callum felt. Although leaving for an entirely different reason, Callum's reason will parallel Rayla's reason in a very important way. Both of them left to protect the other. Rayla believing from an old Moonshadow tradition that leaving to protect someone was the best way to do it. Callum believing the only way to protect Rayla and his friends is by leaving. Thus, a parallel. Therefore, Callum leaving will shock Rayla, and she'll begin to feel the exact same pain Callum did when she left. Except this time, she isn't going to let him go through with it. She won't let him make the same mistake she made. She won't let him go. Callum will leave, Rayla will find out, Rayla will chase him, and Rayla will catch up to him because she's Rayla. And it is here where the most important scene of their relationship may play out. In my opinion, this scene is absolutely crucial. Even if it happens in a different scenario to this type of scene must happen in order for Raylan to continue. Just before I talk about Raylan, I want to mention that the creators of the show never outwardly said that Raylan will become platonic. I think the ending of Season 4 proves that for itself, but I just wanted to mention it anyway. In order for Raylan to truly mend and heal, the two of them need to finally discuss the pain they both went through seeing one another leave. For this, Rayla will only have a faint idea of how much she hurt Callum. We can see that in Season 4 she doesn't really understand, especially when they first meet again.
You know what? I have a long day tomorrow. I should go to bed.
Wait, what? We haven't seen each other in 2 years. Don't you think it's worth staying up a little past your bedtime?
I'm tired.
Callum leaving will allow Rayla to feel Callum's pain. When Rayla catches up to him, they will finally have that big feelings time, initiated by Rayla hopefully, who is in an emotional state very reminiscent to how Callum was feeling when Rayla left him 2 years ago. They will finally be able to truly emphasize and apologize to one another, Rayla apologizing for leaving in the first place, and Callum apologizing for leaving now, eventually realizing that he does need to go back despite the risks. This will finally fix their relationship for good, I think, along with giving us a chance to potentially hear about what happened during Rayla's journey. Perhaps Rayla doesn't convince Callum to come back right away, and they just talk about everything and anything. Callum leaving would be the best way to show their characters developing and understanding each other rather than saying it. This would fill the void that was unfortunately left behind in Season 4, where we never see them have a true one-to-one conversation besides Callum's request to be killed. Callum leaving would be a perfect way to finally answer all these questions. That's why I believe Callum will run away in Season 5. So, what do you think? Are there any holes in my theory that you can think of? Do you have a different theory? Let me know down below. Make sure to also join the official Dragon Prince Discord if you want to meet me and a bunch of other hardcore Dragon Prince fans. Link, as always, in the description. Have a good day. Bye-bye.